So I was talking to one of my friends, and we were talking about a situation that happened with a mutual friend of ours. Bad situation. And he tells me this, and this really struck me because I've been kind of going through things as kind of like a young 20-year-old, 20 to like mid 20-year-old, and what I've noticed is a lot of my friends feel the exact same way. It's like we're going through this identity crisis early on in our life. And I want to talk about that, but this is what he said that stuck with me. It says, all that matters is it can happen to anyone. The thought of one day losing your goodness and becoming a villain to others. And that's horrifying. The idea of becoming a villain to somebody, especially those people that you know used to care about you and you care about them. You know, the idea of kind of losing yourself, losing what you are, but also losing that acceptance from others. And that feeling of acceptance is so huge. And I think it's actually like the building, it is the cornerstone to identity in young 20-year-olds to 20 to 30-year-olds, which I would call the new midlife crisis. The millennial midlife crisis is from 20 to 30. And it's creepy because I've been thinking about this. I've been going through it. I know friends that are going through it. A lot of people are going through it. It's this identity crisis. And what I think it really stems from is we are realizing as millennials that the job environment is not like it used to be. It's not like you learn your trade, you go into a job, and then you just work your way up, and you never leave that. There's so many opportunities. Because of that, mixed with the fact that everything is visible, everything is vocal, everything's online, you know, the clout, all that stuff. We confuse this desire of success and status because we know that that's kind of how the world works now. You know, that's even how like a lot of relationships work now. Especially as a man, it's like you seek status because that is one of your most desirable traits, or at least a lot of us feel that way. You know, regardless if that's the truth or not. So you confuse that element with your identity. So you're seeking out the individualism. It doesn't cut it anymore to just be like an engineer here or something here. I've really noticed a lot of my young friends, 20 to 30, who are not in a relationship. They're seeking something. And I've noticed the friends with the relationship, they feel that comfortability, that acceptance, that works a little bit better for them. You know, because they found that loved one. They found that person that accepts them who they are. So they are within that unit. They're not lonely. At least they have less of a sense of loneliness. So I look at the younger guys, the guys who are striving for something, who haven't found that flare with somebody yet, and even some guys that have, and they're searching for something, they're looking for something, and they're trying to develop themselves personally. But then also because there's such a plethora of opportunities in this world, it's finding your niche and then going toward it. You know, I graduated college 2 years ago and I've worked 4 jobs already. So it wasn't like I got fired, or like I quit. It's not like that. It was a plethora of different reasons, but the fact that I had those opportunities, 4 different opportunities in the time span of 2 years, that's insane to me. That's crazy to me. But it's, you know, I was searching for that one niche and I never really found my home. So, and that's what I really noticed that with a lot of guys. In one of the situations, a lot of us felt like we found our niche in one of the positions, and then everybody got laid off. And one of my friends, he kind of went through this trial period where he found home within a community, and then was torn away from it, not by his actions or anyone from that community's actions. And so because of that, he dealt with a lot right there. So, getting back on topic, the idea of like this millennial, midlife crisis. It's interesting. It's not midlife, it's quarter life. But here's the thing: your most driven and creative time of your life is, I believe, till you're about 27 years old, 27, 29, around that. I think there's studies on it, but knowing that you kind of like, you see all these successful people your age, and it's kind of like when you I don't know if you guys did sports in high school. When you're in sports, it's like joining junior varsity as a junior, right? You're probably not going to make the team. You're just not, you know, unless you're really, really good and can make varsity. Because these coaches, they're looking for the freshmen. They're looking for the potentials. They're looking for the ones that they can build up within the 4-year time span. And it's scary because a lot of us are thinking, my life is fleeting. I'm not pouncing on what I need to pounce on now. You know, as much as we could just say, I want to live my life, I want to be comfortable here, we're not pouncing on that. And that makes us unsettled. And we lose a sense of drive. And then we also, like my friend was telling me, how you feel judged by other people. Not just judged, but you feel inadequate. You're kind of looking for that success so that you have this self-actualization on what you've been working toward, right? So for me, I'm working toward things. I'm working toward more artistic drive, more development skills, but toward a specific goal, and all those things are building up for it. And so when you don't see the fruit of your labor, it starts to scare you a little bit, especially with what you define as your identity. So when a situation happens that tears you apart, you know, that not only tears you apart mentally on your side, but also tears you apart in the social view and how people see you, that's scary. It's an identity crisis. And when you have people attacking attributes of yourself as if those were your identity, that's a big crisis as well. I'm a firm believer that the biggest issue with our society, with people my age, the biggest issue is directly coming from an identity issue. You know, it's, you know, identity politics are a thing. And as much as I don't like them, it makes sense why they're a thing, because it's easier to understand and grasp everything because of them, right? So you have the whole internet, you see everything, and now it's easier to kind of put everyone in little boxes, and you kind of stereotype those people to kind of understand them. And some of that is okay, but a lot of it's dangerous. And so when you start believing what people are saying about you, or saying that this is you, then it starts scaring you. Then it starts making you unsure about who you are as a person. You know, these stereotypes. You know, it's happened forever in the African American community, and now it's happening with a lot of people in every community. And it's not necessarily bad, because it is good to have like the discussions and talk about things that may be issues somewhere, you know, and work through it. But a strong sense of self and strong sense of identity is definitely the biggest push toward a happy life and a more successful life, and getting out of that midlife crisis of being from your 20s to 30s looking for that drive. I am a firm believer of that. But it's difficult, man. It's difficult because you're not sure. You're not sure where you're going. You don't know where you're gonna, where your life is gonna lead. You know you have the potential to go up to the top, right? To be rich and famous or inspirational or make a change that's for the better culturally. You know that you have the ability to do that, but it's how you use skills and your niches and parts of your personality trait all to come together in one big puzzle to show out the big picture, right? And then be able to actually start working on it. One thing I've noticed from every single really, really successful person that likes talking about their success, especially ones that started toward the bottom, right? They almost all say that the work ethic was the most important thing for them. You know, work ethic's tough. Work ethic's tough because things get in the way. Emotions get in the way. Relationships get in the way. You know, just your own self gets in the way. You know, your insecurities. You doubt your ability to do something, and that's scary. But one of the most important people in my life, actually, the 3 top most important people in my life that are around my age, they all had this huge sense of identity. Everything they did was self-actualized. It was because they wanted to do it, right? It's, you know, I had a friend that she would just go do whatever she wanted. Like, she just was like, oh yeah, roller derby team now. And I'm like, what? You know? And whatever she wanted. didn't matter, and that was a part of her identity. It was also a part of her flair. It made her interesting and appealing to other people, and I really respected that. Another friend, very, very sure of every opinion that he had. I try to be like that too. Very sure of it. And he would like to discuss it with me, but he was very confident. And he really, really, we disagreed on a lot of things, but I always enjoyed talking to him. And he really inspired me. And then another person, she took everything she wanted, and she did not care what you thought about it. And that was really, really interesting. But it taught me, because I was going through some stuff during college, and it taught me when I went back to college, I just did my own thing. I did whatever I want, and I didn't care what other people thought about me, Whether it's just I'm doing skateboard tricks or dancing over here where anyone can see me, I'm doing that because I want to do it, and it's fun. And it doesn't matter what people think about me. It's interesting because I feel like having that self-identity, the strong sense of this is you and this is what you're going to do to succeed, helps you get to that methodology of a strong work ethic. And that's what pushes you towards success. Now, you might not see that success, but remember, the physical success is only part of it. That's what I'm trying to work out right now while talking about this. Physical success is only part of it because you have these goals, you've imagined them and all these things, but remember what's in your brain, imagining them as those goals. Now, when you imagine your goals, you're also imagining all the things that you took, all your skills, and putting them together toward that goal, right? And that's part of the step. It's the streamlined process. And that's cool. That's really cool. Because that streamlined process is, every part of that is success. Every single step you take is success. And that's what you need to know. Because every single one of those things is adding to your repertoire of skills. And that might lead you somewhere else that you really feel at place. Really feel at home. And that's interesting. Because, I'm going on a tangent now, but you know what you want to go. You know where you want to go. You know what you want to do. Some of us do. Some of us have no idea, but we know what we're good at. And finding that one thing that we just feel secure in is a journey. Especially finding that one person that we have a relationship with, or few people that we have this strong bond with. Now that's a little bit difficult because you have to put yourself in the right circles and affiliate yourself with the right traits and people who have similar traits or characteristics as you. But you seek that because that is what gives you this strong sense of identity, and also because of that, belonging and happiness. Those are the three things. Those are the three things that we seek vigilantly as younger people, and those are the things that have kind of took a backseat, right? Finding a family, creating a family, having a strong family bond, that's not as prevalent in America anymore, or in the world. Having that step, going up the ladder, slowly starting one spot, and then just trudging on because you don't know what other opportunity you have, that's not, that's not something that we do anymore. We have so many more opportunities, and that's scary, right? It's this implosion of information. So I'll end at this. Understanding what you want to do is tough, but where you should really take the first step is understanding your strong sense of identity and then building upon that and not caring what other people think about that, because you do not want to become the villain to others. You don't. But if you have this strong sense of self, then you will follow your ethics. You will do what is right, not only for you, but what is right for others. I really think that if you really hone in on your strong sense of identity, you won't be insecure. You won't be controlling of others and acting out. I think you'll do a little bit better in life. I'm excited to keep trudging. I'm in the same boat, and all my friends, they're in the same boat, but I'm excited to keep going, and I'm excited to figure it out and not lose hope.
You set me up from the start. betrayed me. You betrayed me!